Welcome back to page 121 and welcome to Traveler, the Great Rift. We're going to take a look at the box set. Now I did this about 1.5 years ago. I did it as a box opening because I had just gotten it. And I opened the box and showed the contents. But I've read a lot of it now. I haven't even finished it yet. But I've read a lot of it and I want to talk a little bit more about what you get in this box. This is published in 2017 by Mongoose. It's for Traveler's second edition. $70 is the retail price on it. It's an older thing, though. You might be able to find it for a discount somewhere. But my chief recommendation with this is get it. This is a tremendous resource, even if you're not going to be running in the Great Rift, which unfortunately I won't be in the near future. But the stuff in here, you can take a lot of stuff out of here and use it elsewhere. You can make the Great Rift a point of adventure, maybe even in the Fifth Frontier War. Maybe there's been some behind-the-scenes stuff done, and there's communications cut off in the Great Rift set up by Zodani agents. Maybe you have to deal with that. Just a lot of stuff you can do. So we're going to go into what the Great Rift is a little bit and where it is. The Great Rift is the claw, for the expression behind the claw, for the Spinward Marches in those areas. The giant lobster-like claw that's on the map, that is the Great Rift. And that is what this box is dealing with. You get nice solid box. I love that. And you get the pull ribbon. Yay! You pull the stuff out. There you go. Put the box off to the side and we'll look at the contents. First off, I'm going to hold these for until later in the video. Here we go. Book 1, The Great Rift Itself, Science Fiction Adventure in the Far Future. Get a lot of information about the Great Rift, including how the Aslan first crossed it, how they continue to use the Great Rift in their commerce, various races that live within the Rift. Not all the races in the Rift are necessarily cast-off humans spread by the ancients or some other means. A lot of what's in the Great Rift originated there. I'm not going to thumb through each and every one of these books. I will just give you an idea there. There's a layout for the Narrows subsector. I love this stuff. There's something about a traveler map, and I'll get to that more in a minute, but just a traveler map in print, it just brings out the geek in me. But first book we get is The Great Rift Itself, which tells us what the Rift is, where it is, and some strange phenomena in the Great Rift. I did one on the jump space reefs about 1 year or so ago. If you want to look that one up, that's just one of the things that this book talks about. Book 2 gives us Reft sector. We get a nice look at Reft and what's doing over there. There's the old islands. This is the one I'm actually excited about. I haven't gotten here yet, but I will be there soon. I want to read about the old islands subsector. That's neat. And then the third book is Touchstone and Ephesusa. And it's just another sector book, but when I say another sector book, I say that with great excitement. So there you go. And then book 4, the Deep Space Exploration Handbook. This is the one I'm kind of saving for myself for the last. I have taken a look at some of this stuff, but oh yeah, I do remember. I read a fair amount of this book now that I'm looking at it. Right when I got this set, this is the book I sat down with. This is so cool. This is so much stuff that isn't covered elsewhere in Traveler, as far as the interstellar clouds, protostars, and the T-Tauri stars, nova and supernovas, star sizes and jump shadow, all kinds of stuff you get in this book. This, in a lot of ways, is one of my favorite things. So you got book 4 there, Deep Space Exploration Handbook. Book 3, Touchstone and Ephesusa. Book 2, Reft. And book 1, The Great Rift. So 4 books come in the box set, as well as 1, 2, 3 maps, poster maps. I'm going to unfurl these and we'll take a look at them. Okay, the first sector map we get is Touchstone. It's the first one I unfurled anyway. There is something about a paper traveler map, especially a big poster size one like this, that really just brings out my inner geek fanboy from the early 80s. I absolutely love paper sector maps on travel. You can just sit and look all over them, and it takes forever to exhaust your imagination with them. Just really beautiful. Next one is the Afawisa sector. Right up there. And then coming down, they're well out of there, and a lot of Afawisa sector is in Aslan space. The other side of this map, of the Afawisa, I'll set this down for a moment. The other side of the map is the Riftspan Reaches sector. I love that the maps are two-sided. One of the things I hate most in gaming is when you get a one-sided big old poster map. You got all this space and sometimes it's not used. And then we have the third one, this guy right here. And this is for, I'm going to get it in just a second. These are just so much fun. This is the ref sector. We'll take a look at this one next. That's the ref sector. And all the way back to here. And then we're going to flip this guy over and see what's on the other side of this poster map. And I realize I didn't flip the first one over, but I'll go to that in just a second. So here we are. The opposite of a ref sector is corridor sector. I actually love having a big map like this of corridor sector because, as if you follow my channel, you know, I've been geeking out about the Fifth Frontier War, and corridor sector is very important to that. This is where I was thinking there might be a secret Zodani base to cut the communications across the rift, thereby slow communications or stop it entirely with capital. Just a thought. And now I'm going to show what's on the other side of the first map. This is the opposite side of the Touchstone sector map, and it is the Phobator system map in the Touchstone sector. System maps are not all that common in Traveller. There have been many published over the years, of course, because Traveller is a very old game, but the system maps themselves on a poster, this might be the first one I've ever seen. I was pretty excited to get my hands on this because even if I don't use this particular system, I'm going to be able to use it to show my players what I'm talking about. When we're talking about orbits and things like that, I'll be able to show them exactly what I'm talking about. My players are all quite smart. They've seen all the Star Wars and Star Trek you care to think about, but it still doesn't hurt to have a map representing you. One thing I want to touch on quickly about the claw itself is I realized that space is depicted on a map is being depicted in 2 dimensions, 2D. Space, of course, is 3D. Well, short of hologram technology, we have no ability to show Traveller map. I don't have access to an ability to show Traveller map any better than it's shown in 2 dimensions on paper or on the Traveller map website. So I'll settle for that. I'm just fine with it. But I wanted to address that against anybody that says that I'm wrong. Astrographically, there'd be ways up and around it. It's assumed for the sake of gameplay that the rift itself is as big in all dimensions. So you can't just go up or under it. You have to go through it in charted or in known space. No, charted space. Sorry, that Larry Niven known space thing always gets me. So there you have it. That's just a quick look at the Great Rift itself, the books you get inside, the maps you get inside. I was extremely happy to get this set. As I said, I know I took a look at it a year or so ago, so I apologize for anybody who saw that video and is saying, hey, what the heck's he doing? But I thought it would be only proper to start off Traveller Week with a look at one of the best box sets there are out there, or one of the best sets that have ever been made for Traveller, and the main subject of Traveller Week this week, the Great Rift. I'm going to be taking almost all of my information for this forthcoming week from Mongoose second resources, not exclusively. There'll be a few things thrown in there, but I just wanted everybody to know kind of the basis I'm going to be using for this. But here it is. That's the first offering for Mongoose for the Great Rift. They did a series of adventures that go on in there as well. I'm going to touch on some of that stuff and some of the other stuff from inside the box set. And all that this week and the exciting Traveler Week featuring the Great Rift. That's it for today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments. Like the video if you liked it. Tell your friends. And please take a look at Patreon. Help me out there if you can. And that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you for your time. And I'll see you next time on page 121.